Good morning and thank you for joining us. This is the weather hazard briefing for Tuesday, May 13th. Go ahead and take a look at what we're expecting here over the next few days. It will be much cooler today, although continued breezy. We will have a frontal boundary moving through the area that will bring precipitation back into the forecast. It will be on the cooler side though, so we are expecting valley rain and some mountain snow, mainly above 7,000 feet or so. And then the cooler temperatures will stick around for quite some time, with temperatures expected for highs in the 50s and 60s here after today. And that'll probably continue into the weekend and into early next week, with continued chances for clouds and precipitation. Taking a look at the satellite imagery from across the western United States this morning, you can see those areas of clouds in place across western and central Idaho this morning. And you can vaguely kind of see that cyclonic circulation there across central Oregon in association with that area of low pressure. That will continue to move slowly towards our area throughout the day today and into the day tomorrow, bringing this continued cloud cover and precipitation chances, as we said, for much of the next few days. Looking at the weather risk outlook, really the rain is the main story. Not expecting any downpours necessarily, just kind of a gloomy day with some light precipitation expected. We'll talk briefly about some total precipitation values here in the next minute or so, but generally just gloomy weather expected for much of the next week ahead. As far as high temperatures are concerned today, much cooler than what we saw yesterday. Some of these areas will be 15 to 20 degrees colder than what we saw for high temperatures yesterday, with generally 50s expected across much of eastern Idaho. Some of the higher terrain areas may remain in the 40s for the day today, but generally expecting things to run in the 50s, which is about 10-ish degrees below normal. It is mid-May after all, so certainly on the cooler side. We will see those winds kind of continue. Not nearly as breezy as what we saw yesterday, but main area of concern generally across the lower Snake Plain into the Magic Valley, 20 to 30 mile per hour gust. Outside of those areas, generally 15 to 20 or so. So again, not quite as windy as what we saw yesterday. As far as expected precipitation, things look very showery in the early part of the day, kind of hit or miss type stuff. So not expecting any significant rainfall amounts during that time period. But as we get into later tonight, those rainfall amounts will go up here, and we'll talk about that here shortly. As far as overnight lows are concerned, generally upper 30s, low 40s across a good portion of the area. Some of the higher terrain zones might get near the freezing mark or just below freezing as you head up towards the Stanley Basin. But continued cold tomorrow, at least cold for this time of year, with generally 50s, maybe low 60s down into the Magic Valley, but again, remaining on the cooler side for a good portion of the region. As far as expected precipitation amounts tonight, as that low kind of moves overhead, basically late during the overnight hours tonight and into the day tomorrow, that's when we'll see the bulk of precipitation here. So you can see those totals, a tenth of an inch, maybe a quarter to a half an inch by the time we get into the early morning hours tomorrow, generally along the I-15 corridor and into the east towards the Wyoming border, quarter, maybe half an inch if things just work out really well as far as precip is concerned. So nothing too crazy. Very similar conditions expected tomorrow night into Thursday morning, and conditions very similar on the day Thursday. We'll probably get a little bit of a break on the clouds, especially across the western half of the area, as we get kind of a weak, very weak ridge, if you want to call it that, trying to build over the area. So it might clear some of the clouds out, but we still probably will see some lingering precipitation across the eastern half of the area. But again, amounts are very, very light. Just, again, kind of some nuisance precipitation expected. Thursday night into Friday morning, overnight lows, again, mid to upper 30s, low 40s across most of the area, with those colder temperatures across the higher terrain. And really not much changes as far as temperatures are concerned for the day Friday, upper 50s, low 60s across most of the area. As we get into the day Saturday, this looks to be our warmest day of the next week. And this is when temperatures return closer to right around where they should be for this time of year. So that's that being said, mid 60s, maybe upper 60s across a lot of the lower valleys, with low to mid 60s across the higher terrain. And again, this appears to be our warmest day. As we get into Saturday afternoon and evening, and certainly into the day Sunday, models are very adamant on bringing another trough of low pressure into the Pacific Northwest, with another pretty potent low kind of digging down into the region and moving into the Great Basin Sunday, and continuing across the region into the early part of next week. So these just kind of a look at some very early precipitation totals, and this is a multi-day rainfall total from Friday and into the day Tuesday. So over the course of 4 or 5 days, half an inch to an inch across a good portion of the region, maybe an inch to an inch and a half across some of the higher terrain of the eastern highlands and central mountains. Again, these are very early precipitation forecasts, but just giving you an idea of what we're going to expect. So obviously it's some decent rainfall amounts, but again, it's over a 4 to 5 day period. Just goes to show you that it's going to be continued cloudy, cool, with some light rain chances expected each day. And that's generally what we're expecting into the early part of next week. So that's all that I have for you today. Thanks for joining us, and have a great Tuesday.